Hello family and friends and fellow YouTubers, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and as you can tell I am back out at the Hancock Homestead, and this weekend I'm going to be working on planting bulbs. I ordered several packages of bulbs from the Holland Bulb Farms company. I highly recommend that company. They're the ones I got the tiger lilies from, these red tiger lilies. I planted them. They grew and bloomed within the same year. They were beautiful blooms. So I highly recommend this company. Now I'm trying some spring blooms, tulips and daffodils. I ordered red and pink tulips, and I ordered some yellow master daffodils. I'll go through them real quick. So I have 2 bags of the Sky High Scarlet single late tulip. These will be a red tulip. They'll get really tall. I think they're like almost 6 inches. Yeah, 28 to 36 inches. And they're a little bit later than the other ones. So I have 2 bags of them. And there's 10 bulbs in each bag. So I have them to do. And then I ordered the Red Emperor Fosteriana, which is Italian, I believe, tulip. And these will be red, and they will only get as high as 12 to 18 inches. So they won't be quite as high. And they are in the mid-spring. So these will be a little bit earlier than these Sky High ones. And I have two bags of 10 bulbs of them. Okay, and then I ordered 2 bags of the Albert Heijin Fosteriana tulip. And they too get 12 to 18 inches high, and they also bloom in mid-spring, and their bloom color is pink. It tells you everything you need to know right here on this bag. That's another reason I really love this company, is their bags come fully detailed with how many bulbs you're getting, the order number in case you want to order more, the name of the tulip, the size of the bulb, the height that they get, how deep you're to plant them, how far apart you're to plant them, and their color and their bloom time. Plus I ordered a value pack of 35 bulbs of the Red Impression tulip. Once again, they're going to be red. This is a value bag. These will get 12 to 18 inches tall. And these will also be mid-spring, and their bulb tulip, of course, is going to be red, because they're a red impression. Now, I want to share with you something that I learned about tulips this year. Way back when we moved into our first home, which we only rented, I planted some tulips, and it was the only time I had planted tulips, so it's probably been, oh gosh, 30 years now since I've planted tulips. So I was doing a little bit of research on them. Not all tulips are perennials, guys. Some tulips only come up like one time, make their best showing, and then the following years you get minimum growth, minimal show. So not all tulips can count as a perennializing tulip. But if you read the descriptions in your online catalogs or from your companies, it will tell you in the description, this bulb is known for its perennializing abilities to be perennials. For instance, the Sky High tulip did not say anything about it being a perennializing tulip. So I might only get 1, maybe 2 years of showing from it. I don't know. We'll see. The rest of these are supposed to be highly perennializing tulips. They're supposed to come back as strong perennials year after year for several years. So that's what I'm hoping for. Because when I go to the trouble of planting a bulb, I want to get as much bang for my buck as I can. Now, tulips do not cost that much money compared to your irises. But still, if you're going to spend the money, I feel like if I'm going to spend the money on a bulb, I want to get as much show for it as I can. So, those are the tulips that I will be planting. And I'll be planting them here in the cottage garden. The red and pink ones will be here in the cottage garden. Now, I've also ordered some yellow and purple ones for the iris beds, but they have not come in yet. Today we're just doing the reds and the pinks. Then I also ordered a big bag of the Dutch Master Daffodil. These are supposed to get big daffodils, and they're supposed to be very good at perennializing, coming back year after year. And they get 12 to 18 inches tall, and they will bloom in mid-spring, okay? So, let me show you my plan. Okay, so here's my plan starting up here by the pump. Okay, just to orient you where we're at. We're starting here at the pump. And as you can see, I got in all of the paving stones. These first 5 here, I ended up moving again. I actually put them in twice because I decided I better measure. So I got out the measuring tape and I measured how far I wanted them from the fence. So I think it was, the front is 103 inches from the fence. So I went down and I put in a row of stones, measure 103 inches. Then the next row, again, 103 inches. So that the stones were somewhat even spaced from the fence. It took me 2 tries on the first 5 though before I realized, hey, I better measure these. So anyway, I got it done though. Alright, so here are the plans with the tulips and the daffodils. Sorry my shadow's in the way, but I'm trying to get this filmed early. So I'm going to put a row of the red impression tulips along each of these borders right here. The red impression tulips will be in a row. And no, you're not supposed to plant in rows, but I'm trying to spread my tulips out. So, and I've only got enough room for about 1 row. So there'll be 1 row of red impression tulips. And then in front of those tulips, I will put a triangle of daffodils. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. But they will only be in front of every other stone. So there'll be a triangle of daffodils there, a triangle of daffodils there, and a triangle of daffodils there. I have a few more daffodils to work with, so I can do that. Alright, so that's what that will look like. And then you can see I have some irises back there. Those are going to be those yellow and red irises. And then behind them I dug up, separated, and transplanted the yellow and red lilies. And then, oh, I forgot about this because I've already done this. But in that spot right there are some yellow and red tulips. I think they're called Helmar. Helmar Triumph tulips. And they're in there, right there. I've already done them. Okay. Then in this section here, I will be doing some red impression tulips down to about where that rock is at. And then I will do a triangle of daffodils there, and a triangle of daffodils there. But this section right here, and this section right in there, on each side of that rock, are where the red and the pink Fosteriana tulips will go. I'll put the name on the movie so you can see it. Okay, so there will be tulips in there and tulips in there. Alright, and then moving on down to the next section here. To balance what's over there, there will be pink and red tulips there and pink and red tulips there. And then there will be a line of the red impression tulips here with starting down here, a triangle of daffodils and a triangle of daffodils. The tulips will probably be taking up most of that area there, so I'm not sure if I'll be putting daffodils there or not, but we'll see. Alright, and then the last row down here, once again, there will be a row of the red impression and then triangles of daffodils on every other stone. Okay, so that's the plan for today, is to get these bulbs in the order that I want them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do one row with you, and then you're just going to have to assume I did all the rest. So here we go. And sorry about the shadows, guys, but it is, you know, autumn and the shadows have changed on me. So let me get my shovel. You can use trowel, or you could use a hand bulb digger, which I have. But since I'm doing so many, I'm just going to dig a trench with my shovel. So let me go get the shovel. Alright, so tulips like to be 8 inches deep. And daffodils like to be about 6 inches deep. But I'm going to start out by digging the trench all the same. So, take that dirt out. Lay it up there to be used later. And it's got some sand in it, but that's okay. Tulips actually like sand. It has sand in it right here because this is where I put in the rock. And I had used sand to hold them in place. And I had put a layer of cow manure on top until I knew what I was going to do here. But tulips and daffodils, they happen to like sand and they happen to like cow manure, so we're okay. Okay, so I'm going to put my red impression tulips in first, and I want them to be about 8 inches deep. And about 3 inches apart. Alright, so I know my 8 inches. So my trench is 8 inches deep. So I'm just going to lay those in there about every 3 inches. 3 to 4 inches. I'm putting 2 per block. So 2 in front of that stone, 2 in front of that stone, 2 in front of this stone. front of this stone, and then 2 in front of this last stone. That'll give me 10 tulips in this row. Alright, let me show that to you. Okay, so there are the tulips at 8 inches. Now I'm going to put the daffodils in. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the Dutch Master Daffodil, and they only need to be in at 5 inches. So I'm going to backfill this up to a 5-inch level. Alright, and then I'm going to make a triangle of them. Oh, that's got a baby growing off of it. I'll just leave that baby on there. Alright. So, there's that. And then I'm going to come over, I'm going to make another 5-inch ledge. See, now that I have the tulips in, it's okay to cover them. Alright, so I'm going to measure down 5 inches. Yep. Okay. Oops, but I want to skip a rock. So I'm going to go 3, skip a rock, and 3. That'll give me more daffodils to use in other places and allow them room to spread. Alright, so let me get another, let's see, this one I've got daffodils in front of. I'm going to skip that one. So I want to make a ledge down here. Inch ledge. Yep. Alright. Another triangle. Okay. I'm going to skip a rock, and then I'm going to make another 5-inch ledge down here. Just a tiny bit more there. Okay. And then another triangle. Alright, let me bring you in for a look here. Alright, so looking from this direction, you can see there's a triangle of daffodils there, and then we skip a rock, and then a triangle of daffodils there, and then underneath all that are the tulips. All along there are tulips, and then skip this rock here, and then another triangle of daffodils. Alright, and so this is the pattern I'm going to be repeating going all the way up this row. But I won't make you watch the whole thing. Alright. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Alright, and then of course I'm going to simply just backfill my hole with this dirt that I took out. So something I did see recommended, and I just didn't have one to do it with, but they say that if you lay a tarp out so that you can put all this dirt that you dig out onto the tarp, then when it comes time to backfill, you just have to pick that tarp up and dump that dirt back in. But I could not find any tarps, and I had already used up all my cardboard for my iris beds. So I just had to go with just backfilling like this. Just shovel and back. All right. All right, so before I put the water on, I'm going to give them a good stomp down here. Okay friends, so I'm going to spray off my rocks here, and I'm going to water the tulips and the daffodils that we just put in. Alright, now I'm going to put this hose on shower. I'm going to give these tulips and daffodils here a real nice shower. Okay friends, there we go. So now I have it all watered in. I need to add a little bit more dirt down here to this lower bed. But I have this row of tulips and daffodils in. Now I just need to go on up here and put in a row of tulips and daffodils along with those other red and pink tulips. So I am finished showing you what... Ah! What the heck was that? Oh, it's a praying mantis. Great big praying mantis just landed on me. Scared the dickens out of me. Look how big that is. I do like praying mantis. I just don't necessarily want them flying onto me. That's a big one too. Alright. Those are the daylilies that I dug up and divided from there because they were just getting too thick there. So since I knew I wanted to put some tulips in there, I just went ahead and dug up and divided the daylilies. So I'll have to get them into the ground next. But first things first, we got to get all these tulips and daffodils in. And it's a nice day to do it. Okay friends, so I have a lot of work to do today, so I'm going to call this the end of this video. But before I go, I just want to share with you a few tools that you might need. Now, if you're doing just a handful of bulbs and you don't want to do the trench method that I just did, you can buy these handheld bulb diggers. They have the inch implements on the side, and you just stick that in the ground. It digs you the perfect hole that you need. Then you bring it out, it'll have the dirt inside. You put the bulb down in the hole, and then this has a release mechanism that you can just release that dirt back onto the top of that bulb. So these are very handy if you only have a few bulbs that you want to do here and there and you don't want to dig a trench style. If you don't want to be doing a lot of bending over with the handheld one, you can also buy these that you put into the ground and you step on. It brings that amount of dirt out that you need, and then you simply tip the dirt back over onto your hole after putting the bulb in. So you can buy tools like this. However, I have found that if you're doing many bulbs in a specific location, it's better just to dig a trench style. It goes faster, it's just easier. And for that, of course, you just need a shovel. Another tool that you might want to use is a ruler so that you can measure your depth, because you do want to get those bulbs in at the correct depth. Alright, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now.